Hey guys, hope you guys had a great weekend of training. Today's video I want to talk on how to do long runs for marathon training. And the reason why I'm making this particular video is because of a question one of my visitors to the channel had asked me in regards to a marathon that he ran in France. And he was aiming for running under 3 hours and 29 minutes. He ended up running still a very, very strong 3:45. And as you know, there's so many different things that can go wrong in a marathon. He had some legitimate questions, and I wanted to talk on that in this particular video, some of the questions that he was asking. He said he really didn't have any major issues throughout the race, aside from in terms of maintaining pace, but for some reason, he felt like the terrain that he was running on prior to preparing for the race or while preparing for the race may have caused him issues in sustaining pace overall. So one of his questions was that he felt that he was running too many miles on softer surfaces, and he felt like his muscles just couldn't handle the pounding of running on the concrete in the race. So I do believe that if you're, in terms of how to do long runs for marathon training, you do want to mix up the terrain that you're running on. You don't just want to, granted it is definitely a safer bet to be able to train on dirt roads or grass as often as you can, but at the same time, when the marathon distance, as you guys know, we're racing on concrete, we're racing on pavement, so you do want to mix up the terrain that you're running on in order to get the to really toughen your tendons and ligaments. So a lot of times you can do everything correctly in the marathon distance and still not get it right. I always bring this up in my videos and even on the written content on RunDreamAchieve.com is I had so many difficulties and frustrations as well as John that you have in the marathon distance. You feel like you did everything possibly correct. Perhaps you just ran too many of your miles on softer surfaces, and maybe that's the reason why you had IT band issues, you said, in the race as well. And another one of his questions was, how long does it take in order to recover from IT band syndrome? That's going to vary from athlete to athlete. Most of the time you can recover from that in a matter of several weeks to several months. One of the best recommendations I can give you if you're having IT band issues or any type of impact issues is get in the deep end of a swimming pool. Over the years, I trained numerous times doing my long runs at the deep end of the swimming pool. You just get in, if you want to put a flotation device on, it's a lot easier to have a flotation device on, obviously, and just focus on form and just sit there and run for, anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours or however long you want to make it. Obviously, taking off the flotation device will make it much more difficult, and you'll definitely have to force yourself to stay up. But at the same time, pool running takes all of the stress off of impact in terms of impacting your ligaments and your tendons. So that is a great alternative to the constant pounding on on pavement or concrete. But if you're not having any IT band issues, a lot of times that could be caused again from just not only the running surfaces that you're running on, but it could also be a biomechanical issue that you have. Maybe you need to either get in the gym and lift very light weight. If you're going to lift weights, I highly recommend do not focus on heavy weight, focus more on light weights with high reps. And just take your time in terms of getting in the gym. We're not in there to bulk up or anything like that, but I do recommend strength training for sure, getting into the gym and just focusing on very, very light weights and high reps. But again, always focus on progression. Another thing is that he mentioned in his race or in his questions too was, do I think running over 20 miles is adequate for training for the marathon? Again, it's going to depend on the athlete. For somebody that's trying to break 3 hours and 30 minutes or 3 hours and 29 minutes in his case, I mean, that's a very, very competitive time. Are there athletes out there that run under that time, that run less than 20 miles for their long runs? Yes. But again, it's a very difficult question to answer because we're all different. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have the same body, but at the same time, the terrain we're training on is different. If you're somebody that's living in Kenya or Ethiopia, maybe you have more dirt roads to train on as compared to somebody that's living in Europe or in the United States or in Brazil, where there may be a lot more pavement and concrete to be training on. But I do believe that in terms of how to do long runs for marathon training, you do want to mix up not only the terrain that you're running on. Obviously, we're going to be racing on concrete and pavement, unfortunately. I wish there were marathons. There are probably marathons around the world that you're running mainly on dirt roads. I know out in Colorado, they have a lot of marathons out there that are run on the dirt roads that I used to train on in Ellicott, Colorado. That's where I usually always would go. It was about a 40-minute drive outside of Colorado Springs. I would always go out there and do my long runs, mainly on the dirt, but also I did a lot of long runs on concrete and pavement as well. So in terms of your question, John, definitely in your future races, and there's no question about it, you are going to break 3 hours and 29 minutes. The fact that you ran a bad, so-called bad race and ran a 3:45, it already tells me you'll go well under 3:29. Anybody that's run the marathon knows you're going to deal with bad races. I mean, I had races, my slowest marathon I ever ran was a 3:05, and that was a very bad race for me. Yes, I could have dropped out of that race. I should have really, looking back, I really should have, but at the same time, sometimes you need to experience these setbacks. I've run 3:05s, I've run 3:02s, I've run 2:50s, 2:40s, and it came from failing over and over and over again until I finally ran 2:19. So I know where you're coming from, John. I understand marathoning very well. I understand that this particular event is not like a 5K or running a mile on the track or running even a 10K. There are so many things, there's so many factors that go into running a quality marathon. In terms of your long runs, yes, you need to mix up running on concrete, pavement. Every once in a while, getting on the dirt roads, getting on softer surfaces is great too. But a lot of times, we experience issues like, say, IT band issues. I've had 3 knee surgeries myself from patellar tendon issues. I had cartilage breaking off in my kneecaps. I had 2 knee surgeries, orthoscopic knee surgeries on my left knee and 1 on my right knee, and it all came from running. And a lot of times it came from running on concrete and pavement. But here in America, and if you're in Europe or in other parts of the world where there's mainly concrete and pavement, that's kind of like the only option you have to train on. And you get on grass and you get on dirt roads as the best you can. But sometimes, you do. In most cases, we're going to be running marathons on pavement or concrete. So yes, do mix it up a little bit. But at the same time, if you're having issues, IT band issues or patellar tendon issues like I had, sometimes, yes, you're going to have to do some alternate training, get in the deep end of a pole. No impact on your tendons or your ligaments, which is fantastic, but at the same time, it's extremely boring. If anybody's ever done it, you know what I'm talking about. You're in one place and you sit there and you just sit there and focus on your form, but it's a great, running in water is a lot of resistance on you. And again, it's much easier to run the deep end of a pool if you have a flotation device. If you don't, and you want to make it even more difficult, take that flotation device off and just focus on your form. And that's a great way to get off the roads or get off the concrete or pavement or dirt roads or grass or whatever, and taking all the impact out of the equation. But at the same time, you can't focus and you can't just continue to do long runs every single weekend in the pool. It's going to be extremely boring. But if you're injured in any way, this is one way to get as close to land running as you possibly can get without the impact. So it's just some things you want to really think about. Also, in terms of how to do long runs for marathon training, as I've continued to say, and I want to really continue to emphasize, not just continuing to run every single weekend long and slow. I do believe that running further than 20 miles or 32 kilometers every once in a while is very, very important. I got out to 30 miles for my long runs. I don't recommend going that far. Okay, I don't recommend going 30 miles. I was just kind of trying to testing out the limits a little bit in terms of where I was particularly at. I had run 219 for the marathon. I had run out to 24 to 25 miles in length, and I was just changing up some of my tactics. I don't recommend, you don't need to go up 30 miles, but I do think every once in a while 22 miles, 23 miles is outstanding. You're going to still get some great results going a little bit further than 20 miles, but I don't believe that you really necessarily need to go that far, and definitely not every single weekend. If you do as far out to like a 23 mile one weekend, I would drop it back down to around 18 to 19 the next weekend. And again, mix up the variation of your pace. Don't just run long, slow distance runs every single weekend. It will make you a very, very strong, long, slow distance runner. And again, it does depend on what you're wanting to do in the marathon distance. If you're just wanting to run your first marathon and you're a beginner in the sport, just focus on distance, focus on building your endurance, building up your volume in terms of your mileage, and don't think so much about, well, I need to run a portion of my long runs at this particular kilometer pace or this particular mile pace, or this particular percentage of my maximum heart rate. That's not so much should be your focus if you're a beginner or you're just wanting to run your first marathon. You can run a great marathon and complete your first marathon just by running long, slow, easy mileage and building up your fitness. If you're trying to do something what John's trying to do and breaking a 329, you need to change up your tactics and do some more specific type of training in order to run that specific time, because it does go into pace sustainment. And again, if you're having, like I said, there's so many things that can factor into running a great marathon. Injuries definitely cause big issues in terms of being right on pace for the certain amount of percentage of your marathon and then just falling off the pace, especially going into a marathon. I hope this particular video for you, John, I answered your questions. Definitely, like I said, do mix up the terrain of your preparation leading into your marathon. Do run some pavement and some concrete type runs. Get on the softer surfaces. Do some very light strength training. That way you are making sure that you don't have any biomechanical issues. Maybe the left side of your body is stronger than your right side or vice versa. And at times, definitely get in the deep end of the pool. That way you take the impact off your legs and off your tendons and ligaments. Try doing that every other week or every 2 weeks. That way you ensure you're recovering from those hard track sessions and road sessions that you're doing. So in terms of how to do long runs for marathon training, definitely keep these things in mind. Vary up the paces of your training. Sometimes every once in a while go further than 20 miles. Like I said, don't go out as far as I went. I would say anywhere from 18 miles out to around 23 miles is sufficient to prepare for a marathon. Going the distance of a marathon in training, I don't think is really going to benefit you any more than doing, say, an 18 or 20 miler or 22 miler. I think really getting in that between 18 to 23, maximum 23 miles is sufficient to run a great marathon distance, great marathon race. Hope you guys have a great week of training. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Nate Pennington. I'm the founder of RunDreamAchieve.com. If you want to get new video updates from me, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, so when I make a new video, you'll be notified of it. And give me a thumbs up if you appreciate this content. I hope you guys do. Obviously, those thumbs up or thumbs down, either way, helps the channel grow. But I do want to provide content and do the best I can to answer your guys' questions. So definitely continue to leave comments below. I'll either answer them or I will make a specific video about your particular question. It is very important that I give back to the sport that's given me so much as well. So hope you guys have a great week of training. John, continue the fight, man. You'll get under 329. It's just a matter of time, man. You're right there. So again, I dealt with the same ups and downs too in the marathon, and just keep plugging away, man. Give yourself some rest time and then just keep fighting until and training well, and get in that as you lead into your next marathon, do that 10-day taper I talk about. Again, I have courses and training programs on RunDreamAchieve.com. I'll leave resources below this video as well for you guys. to help set you guys up for success. And have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.